From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
welcome again tonight on a Thursday. We have exciting racing. Once again, we are in Miami tonight. Last week we were in Charlotte, but tonight we're at the Homestead Speedway, presented Flemdogs 200 in the Wheels America Cup Series. They are practicing right now, doing their thing, but I will tell you what, the track is hot again. We got a hot night for you. 3 stages. Stage 1's going to be 30 laps, stage 2, 70, and then we got our final at the 125 mark. Man, again tonight, I've got my one and only Brandon Bowie in the booth, kind of feeling under the weather, but he's sticking through it. Brandon, how are you doing? Are you excited tonight here in Miami?
Yeah, and thank you for the shout out. Not feeling good. We gonna do what we can do tonight. But yeah, but I'm feeling pretty good, man. For the most part, as best as I can feel, I guess. But yeah, I am excited for Homestead. This is one of my favorite tracks. You can go from top, middle, high side, run the wall. It's lots of options, and I love options, especially when we're at a racetrack.
Yeah, and we are in Miami during the daytime this afternoon. In Charlotte, it was a night race. That changes up a lot of the stuff for the track. Uh, we're going to see a little bit of slickness. These guys have been talking about it early on as they're practicing, but that makes for good racing. You gotta be careful in these corners. You gotta save those tires. Stage 1's going to be a quick one, but stage 2 is really going to change some things up, and that's when fuel and tires come into play. And I'm imagining, like we saw in the truck series, that's what we'll see here tonight on Thursday. Am I right, Brandon?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the truck race was pretty was pretty good. Lots of good green flag racing. Got some green flag pit stops in. It was definitely entertaining. So if you guys didn't see that, please go back and take a look at that. You can watch that on our YouTube previous videos. And then go back and watch that. Like I said, it was pretty good. It's definitely a good one to go watch. But yeah, as far as this race, I don't know if I feel it's going to go the same way. The track temp is way higher than it was on Tuesdays. So this one is going to be track temp right now. It's about 139 degrees. So it is hot and slick out there. Don't put any butter on the track because it's not going to be there very long.
That's right. St. Louis was a hot one. That was 2 races ago. Now we're here in Miami, feeling the same temp. One thing that has changed tonight that we saw in the truck series is we've got the new choose car. That's new for us, and it seemed like it worked pretty well for the guys racing trucks. So what that entails is these guys are going to pick and choose top lane, bottom lane, and we've got that car out there for a reason so they can see exactly where they want to be. Now, this is also going to help out the restarts. Brandon, can you kind of explain that and what you've seen in the past and what's changed tonight for these Cup cars?
Yeah, so with the restarts, what used to happen is basically we would allow iRacing to basically control when the start of the race would happen. That was something that they added maybe about 2 builds ago. So maybe late maybe November, I think is when that was added. So unfortunately, it's caused some issues, especially here in our league, where it's a little bit harder to kind of judge when when the leader is going, which kind of causes an coordinate effect through the field. So what we've done is we've gone ahead and went back to our old way of doing it, where the leader will actually cause the green flag to actually go out or to go instead of waiting on a certain zone to happen. So it's going to pretty much look exactly the same. Fans, you're not even going to notice the difference, but the competitors are definitely going to have to get used to of just when the green flag will go compared to the way how it used to be. So it'll be a little different, but like I said, it'll be good for the racing.
Yeah, and it seemed like it worked out. Like I said, on Tuesday, it did change some things, and we're having some good restarts. We're having less cautions, and I just want to point it out that kind of divides us. That not divides us, but that separates us from other leagues. Here, we want to try to keep it as real as possible, and that's why we put these things into place. It's one thing being a professional doing it in real life, but we are sim racing, and it's a learning situation. And man, I love this. That's why I love about this league, because we try to keep it as real as possible. As we're looking right now, these guys are practicing 3 wide as you see it. And Edward Marshall up there, Nick, Ryan Dunkelberger, Andrew Phipps, got some good practice times. Those will always change as this track temp changes and qualifying gets underway. Man, all you guys at home, I see you guys in chat. Let's turn the chat up tonight because we love seeing you guys give call outs. We got a lot of fans in there, and we appreciate you guys being here. Brandon, Miami, man, it's not as hot as St. Louis, but it's right there. I like Miami.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, Florida is Florida. It's hot. Okay, it is hot as always, but you know, you never know. I mean, cloud could come over, it could downpour and be here and gone, and next thing you know, now we got to drive the track. So it's, you know, Florida has some very, very wild and crazy weather. But man, I've never lived in Florida. I visited one time, went to Disney World when I was very, very young, but for what I remember, it was the weather was great during that time. So, you know, shout out to the guys and people who live in Florida. I know one of those drivers is Frankie. He is one of the guys who lives in Florida and loves it. So, yeah. So, should be some good racing though, for sure.
I agree. Frankie living in Florida? That's awesome. I've heard nothing but good things about Florida. The one thing I will not do in Florida is getting those lakes or those ponds, whatever they want to call them. That's somewhere I'm not gonna be. There's gators. They got all sorts of freaking animals. I'm on the West Coast, man. All I gotta worry about is it cold? Is it icy? Is it raining? These are the only things. But man, tonight, that's all the way. We're here at Homestead Speedway, and all these guys are caring about is trying to get a win. I can't say enough. I can't say enough because every night I come here on Thursday, I'm excited because these guys put a fight out. And tonight they're not going to do different. We're going to see another fight. We're going to see a good racing as we see some guys getting loose there. But hey, it happens. It's a hot track as we talked about. Now, Brandon, real quick, we're going to bring this up. We got 3 stages. Stage 1 is going to be 30 laps. Stage 2, 70. If we finish at 125, what do you think the most important stage is going to be? Obviously, at the end of the race, but do you think stage 2 is going to be the key to winning the race?
Yes, ultimately. I think stage 2 is going to probably be the most important. I mean, stage 1 is that kind of sets you up for, you know, if you're in the back of the field. I mean, it sets you up to kind of move through the field and get you up front. Stage 2, I think, is going to be important because that focuses more on your fuel strategy and as long as with taking care of your tires. So there's definitely going to be, you know, a difference as far as from your mentality from stage 1 to stage 2. So once you do stage 2 and you're done with stage 2, it's game on. You know, so basically, you know, it's everything you learned from stage 1, everything you learned from stage 2. You got to put all your rocks. Can't think what I'm trying to say. Basically, you put everything into that last stage to try and formulate a win. But it's gonna take everything tonight. You know, with this hot, slick track, you know, it's gonna be cars slipping and sliding. So it's gonna be pretty entertaining to watch how these guys try to figure it out.
It is entertaining like every Thursday night we're here. I talked to the guys earlier. I brought it up earlier in this broadcast that the track is very hot, so they're going to be concerned about tires. I think stage 2 is going to be the biggest point. We may not see green flag pit stops, but you know what? Every time we predict something, it goes completely off the wall. Brandon, you can attest of that. But it's gonna be a huge advantage for some of these guys that figure this track out early. A disadvantage for guys that don't know how to run this track because of the heat and how to save those tires. But I will tell you this much right now, early on, Edward Marshall, 33.022, is looking like the best one here in practice. Right behind him is Nick Litz. He's in the second spot there. And Ryan Dunkelberger, Drew Drua, Andrew Phipps with a 33.386. That is a close time. If you look at the top 4 guys right now, their times are split seconds. So hundreds of a second, I should say. Mark Whitley in 7, he's a 33.459, looking good. As practice does close up right now, we're going to jump right over to qualifying. Brandon, we are almost there, my guy.
Yeah, it's almost time to go for these guys. But you know what though, qualifying is going to be crucial as well. Usually I would normally say, hey, qualifying isn't everything, but to be honest with you, I think the mentality is going to have to definitely change this time because as hot and slick as it is, it's going to be very, very difficult to pass. If you could stay up front, I think that's going to be where you need to be. Probably your winner is going to probably come out of the top 10, unless these guys wad it up and the top 10 gets taken out. I just don't think that you have enough time to go ahead and come through the field and try to make all the right moves. So, like I said, I think the top 10, that's where your winner is going to come from.
Absolutely, Brandon. And I want to bring this up because that track is hot. We got the first guy out there right now making the laps. Is qualifying going to be super tough with this hot track? That's the key. You want to get up front early with this hot track and how this is playing out. What do you think they're feeling?
Man, they're trying to. I mean, I ran some laps and I ran some practice laps just to kind of get a feel for what these guys are feeling. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it's it's nasty. It's just absolutely nasty out here. I mean, you're going in the corner and it's basically not turning to the bottom of the track. So you have that issue, and then you also have the issue of trying to run the high side and try to carry the speed, but you're so loose coming off the corner because your tires are too hot. It, it's it's difficult. I mean, to kind of sum it up into one word. I mean, it's going to be very, very difficult to try and put down these laps. But these guys, like I said, the weeks and weeks before, these are the best of the best. So these guys understand what they have to do and what's going to be needed for them to run that hot lap. As you can see, some of the hot laps are coming up, or not hot laps, some of the qualifying laps are coming up now. With the 21, the Vanderplat sitting P1 right now, the 33.83. If these guys can if these guys can put down a hot lap and do it in one lap, that's probably going to be the goal. Because the longer you run, the hotter your tires are going to get. But if you are able to figure out how you can run 2 laps, then there's a little bit more speed on the second lap. So it just depends on what your strategy is. And looks like some guys are running different strategies and they're figuring it out.
Yeah, absolutely. We got Brandon 6 right now in P1. He's running a 33.476. Devin Ray, 22. It's a good look. Now Nick Silver just bumps him out. He's in P2. We got some Chris Vanderplat's fans in the chat right now. He's sitting 8th at this point. Now we got Mark Whitley. He looks like he's going to get the 1 spot with a 33.388. Good times qualifying so far. We're seeing some new names up top, though. Love to see that. And let's see how this plays out. We got a lot of guys left qualifying and trying to get that position to get in that top 15, top 10 grid for the start of this race. You want to be top 5, but, man, they're racing. The times are looking good. Mark Whitley, always a strong guy. I call him the dog. He's up there in P1. If anybody can take him off that spot, love to see it because, hey, we love competition. All right, Brandon.
Yeah, I mean, if Mark Whitley sitting on P1, man, I would say shocker, but no, no. I mean, he's been fast everywhere we go, along with Phipps and Jua and Six and Silver rounding out your top 5 so far. So, the top 5 is kind of about what I expected. Haven't really seen any of some new namers up there. I would love to see some new names up there in the top 10, top 5, see what they can do. But you know what though, it's you got to give props for the guys that are fast. I mean, if you're fast, then you deserve to be up there in the top 5. But hey, I'm not gonna count out anybody that might be sitting a little bit outside your top 10. Maybe within the top 15, you might be able to see those guys come up there and shake things up a little bit. But we still got quite a few more minutes left in qualifying. Looks like about 5.5 minutes or so. Somebody can still go up there and not Whitley off the top.
Yeah, we got about 8, 9 guys left here to qualify, and that can happen for sure. We've got Josh Larson, Edward Marshall there, Brandon Fetterplace. He's sitting about 9. He just got bumped down to 10. Michael Lanphier in 11 now. Mitch Diamond in 12. Those guys in the middle of the pack trying to stay up there, but they're looking at their times. They just qualified. They're just seeing their names drop and drop and drop. That's tough. I did it the other day as I qualified in about 7, 8 spot, and I finished 15th. That's just how it happens, right? That's just if you don't have a good qualified time, you can start early and then find yourself dropping down, and it's just kind of be frustrating. But Mark Whitley's still at P1, Andrew Phipps in P2, Drew Jua P3. That's great to see. Who we got on track right now? Getting a qualifying time in. We got Purcell. See if he can get up top there. He's on his second lap. Now he's looking at 17th position, I believe. Yep, that's where he's going to fall. Now we got Nick Lights, number 4. Get his heat lap in and then see what he can make up for time.
Look like the line he's running. Look like he's trying to carry that speed off, and with their qualifying settings and your setup that you kind of set up, you usually don't want to run it loose. You kind of want to set it up to be tight so that way you can use more throttle, especially coming off the corner, because right now these guys are so loose coming off. But at the same time, you're still you're scrubbing speed. So interesting actually that he didn't pick up as well as I thought he would have, but looks like he's still going, so it looks like he's going to try for his lap 2. Let me see if he can put down the flyer here.
He's on the backstretch. Looks like he's making up some time. Want to be in that top 10, top 5 spot. Brandon, real quick, you were talking about the car getting loose, getting tight. As this race goes on, what do you think that car is going to do? Is it going to get tighter for you, looser? The track's hot. What are your thoughts on how that car is going to react?
Well, I mean, and as we saw, Light there, he went P3, so nice lap for him.
Great lap, yes, P3.
But yes, so to answer your question, I mean, do the run. I mean, these guys are going to be probably loose on the short run. As the run goes on, it honestly just depends on the settings that you have. You might see these guys really, really loose. For the guys that want to run up high, they're going to be slipping and sliding coming off the corner. The guys who want to run on the bottom are probably going to be more tight entry to center of the corner, and then we snap off the corner. So it just depends on the line that you run. It just depends on the settings that you're using to try and run these fast laps. But I think ultimately it's just going to be a handful, whatever you decide to do, whatever your settings are. And like I said, at the end of the day, these guys are just trying to be comfortable. But with this hot track temp, it's going to be very difficult out there for these guys today.
Yes, it will. And one guy brings up in chat how tight these numbers are. I will say that is very well true. From the one spot P1 to P10, there is not much difference. They're all in that 33.38 in P1, and it drops down to 33.611. That might be the tightest qualifying times, the closest I've seen all year. That's going to be interesting. That's going to be fun to see these guys get in the race and continue those hot laps. Wow. That's wild, Brandon.
And it was actually even more wild is the fact that all those guys ran completely different style laps. So in other words, you had some guys that ran the bottom, you had some guys that ran the high side. It's crazy how everybody can still kind of run similar lap times and still be able to kind of come that close.
Absolutely. Well, they are done with qualifying, or we are almost done here. In fact, I think we got a few more. Jeff's got to get out there still. Robert, Brandon Shelton, I believe, still need to get out there in qualifying. But we're getting closer, Brandon. We're going to be racing here in Miami, and I think we got a show ahead of us. We appreciate you guys all being here live on YouTube. I am watching you guys chat. So, hey, give a call out to your guy. I'll say what's up to him. We appreciate you guys being here again. Big shout out to our sponsors, Wheels America, Admin Box, Flemdogs, Units Moving and Portable Storage, the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast, and ultimately Harpoon Designs. Man, majority of these cars, if not all, are painted by Harpoon Designs. We appreciate you guys doing. We appreciate you doing what you're doing for us tonight. We are gonna go racing here shortly, but Brandon, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do tonight? What's gonna happen?
Well, as far as tonight, I think we're going to see a great race. I mean, to be honest with you guys, if we can have, if these guys cannot wreck, like I said, it's going to be absolutely difficult to try and go out there and try to not crash, because it's honestly it's a handful out there, and these guys have definitely got a challenge on their hands. But I still think it's going to be a pretty good race. I think you're going to see a lot of 3 wide, possibly even 4 wide, especially on the front stretch. These guys are trying to draft and get past each other. But I think we can have a great race, and we can possibly have a even better finishes.
Yeah, we will see a good finish here with that choose the top lane, bottom lane. We will start seeing some different things happen tonight, like we saw in the truck series. I think these guys will keep it clean, even though the track is at the temperature it is. Hey, they know what they're doing. Let's see what happens as they're in the grid spot here, and they're about to get on the track, and we're gonna go racing in Miami Homestead Speedway. Guys, we appreciate you again for all the love and support. Man, I'm lost for words. I apologize, Brandon. You were under the weather. I'm kind of fumbling around a little bit tonight. I think I'm nervous or I'm excited. I don't know what's happening, but hey, we're about to go green soon.
Yeah, so let's look at the results of qualifying. So we got P1 Mark Whitley. I don't know what pole this would be for him. Maybe number 3, I believe. Maybe number 4. Could be wrong.
I think you're right. 3.
I think it's 3. We got number 25 Andrew Phipps sitting P2. Number 4 Nick Light sitting P3. P4 number 48 of Drew Jua. The number 66 Brandon 6 is P5. The number 9 Nick Silver is P6. Number 22 Devin Rea is P7. 26 Orion Dunkelberger is P8. 88 Matt Fleming is P9. And 51 of Josh Larson is P10.
That wraps up your top 10, guys. We got a lot more. We got Edward Marshall there in P11. We got Brandon Fetterplace in P12. Michael Lanfear in the 13. He is sitting 13. 13 on 13. Okay, good luck to you. We got Mitch Diamond in the 65. He's on 14th grid. We got Jesse in the 45, sitting 15th. Nick Biddy in the 32, sitting 17th. Sorry, I apologize. 16th. And Kenny Reel, 11. He's sitting 17th. Ryan Pasoko in the 3. He's sitting at 18. Josh Purcell, 74, 19th. And following up with Chris Vanderplatz in the 21. He is in the 20 grid. But, man, Mark Whitley up front, Andrew Phipps, Nick Litz, and Drew Drua right up there in your top 4. This is going to be exciting.
Yeah, these boys are about to get the green flag. Actually, maybe not. We're still on the caution. My apologies. Looks like caution was pulled back out.
I think they're just trying to get these guys ready and set up for this start of the race in Miami. Homestead Speedway, bigger than you think. It's not, it's kind of sometimes feels like that small track, but there's a lot of speed on this one, as we saw in the truck series on Tuesday.
Yeah, for sure.
Back out. So Brandon Pace car, I believe, is coming back out.
Yep, looks like pace car is on the apron, so it looks like they're going to try one more time. Maybe there was some shenanigans going on in the background. Looks like they'll get that squared away, and we'll try and see if we can get it green coming this time by. But yeah, the truck race was, like I said, it was a great race. A lot of passing, some green flag pit stops. I love the green flag pit stops, honestly, because it's another element that kind of ups these drivers' game to kind of see what they can do getting in their pit boxes, getting off their pit boxes. It just provides a great amount of access for the fans to be able to see what these drivers can do.
Yeah, a couple of these races early on, we saw a lot of green flag pit stops. And man, if If you're talking about changing the race up, that's what will do it. But the pace car's off right now, and we've got a green flag here at Homestead in Miami. Mark Whitley, Andrew Phipps gonna battle it out.
I mean, these guys. Oh my goodness! Nick Silver in the 9 car goes up, gets really loose on coming out of 2. I'm sorry, and has to chase it up the track, but does a heck of a job saving it though.
I almost saw 3 wide in the back as they're side by side now. Mark Whitley, Andrew Phipps right behind. You're interesting you said that early on, Brandon. Some guys are taking the top line. Some guys are taking that bottom line. Looks like Mark is consistently taking that bottom at this point. But hey, it might change during the race as he's way ahead.
Yeah, that's the great thing about Homestead, right? I mean, the multiple grooves, just being able to run anywhere and everywhere, just provides so much better racing. So that way you have options. It's running behind somebody for as long as this stage is, for 30 laps. I mean, you're not going to be able to pass them, and it's going to be harder to pass. But if you're able to kind of run the middle, or run the high, or as you can see, possibly a pass here for the lead, Nick Lights can get underneath of them and possibly make the pass. Those are options, and those are options that these drivers. Oh, they got close there. But these are options that these guys have that they can, use to try and make up spots and try to go for the lead, like we're watching here.
Absolutely, Nick on the bottom trying to make that pass past Mark in the 7 car. As the race goes by, you may see these guys change lines too as the tires wear, as they get a groove change and they want to make it a little different, and they think it's going to be faster. You will see that as this race unfolds. Man, side by side racing. Nick is trying to get that pass, and he may here.
They are tight coming out of 2, but what's crazy is these 2 drivers are probably the most aggressive drivers in the league right now, and Nick Lights wants that lead and looks like he's going to grab it.
He does grab the lead now, makes a pass. Mark Whitley now in 2nd, chasing down Nick in the 4.
Oh, and look at the crossover.
Yep. And you called it out. These guys are aggressive. Both these drivers are nonstop. They want to get to the front as fast as they can, but you know what? Nothing's holding them back. This is early on the race, and we've got a lot of action up front. They're not worried about nothing.
Well, again, I mean, it's only 30 laps. I mean, and 30 laps is relatively long, especially for how big this track is. But at the same time, I mean, those 30 laps, if we don't get a caution, are going to click off pretty quickly. So if you're going to go to the front, now's the time to do it.
Absolutely. It's going to come quicker than you think as they are racing to the end of the stage 1. Mark Whitley on the outside lane, keeping Nick in the 4, right behind him now. Brandon 6, Ryan Dunkelberger, and Matt Fleming, your top 5. Matt Fleming in the 88, trying his hardest to get up front there, putting out some good times. He's about 1 second behind the leader.
And it looks like Lights was just, honestly, looks like he pushed it too hard, because he went from the drop of the flag, so it looks like he's starting to get past now. He probably got the tires a little too hot, so he's going to have to back it up a little bit and try to cool down those tires, and then once those tires are cooled down, he could try to probably go after Mark there again.
Yeah, as you find yourself up front like that, battling, you're gonna wear those tires down. We got our ticker back. We're in lap 7 of 125. We're going to end the stage at 30. So there's a lot of time left in this first stage, but don't get me wrong, that gets here quick. Now lap 8 laps down. Mark Whitley out front. No problems with his tires. He's always seemed like the guy out here driving the tires off the car, but never falls back. Seems like he's always pushing.
Yeah, and that's, each driver has their own specialties, as I like to call it. That's his. He can go up there and he can push hard and he can still stay up front. So, again, it's a matter of for here, especially, how hard do you want to push it? Again, we're on lap 9 of to the end of the stage, which would be lap 30. You still got about 21 laps to go. And if you push it too hard, we're going to see it here in the next couple of laps.
Mark's not worried about it. He is out front about 1 second to the next guy, Ryan Dunkelberger, in the 26. He's in P4.
Oh, looks like we got a wreck in the back. Looks like the 14 car, Robert Babcock.
Got one guy spinning. We're going to take a look at it right now. Let's see what happened.
Looks like
No
he's
caution
underneath.
yet.
There's still no caution.
Like he's on the inside here. Gets into
Another wreck going on right now. Caution is out.
The wall, number 14. Big contact, and now we do have a caution.
Like it was the 32 car of Nick Biddy.
Nick Biddy.
Ah, man. That's
Got
just
turned.
Yeah, that's just trying to side draft a little bit possibly, and just got a little too close and turned him. I mean, that's one of the things that you got to be careful on, because the straightaways are so long, and depending on what you can see and what you can't see, it's really, really easy to get too close to the car beside you and just turn them. What you just saw there. I mean, it's nothing intentional or anything like that. It's just it sucks. It sucks to get wrecked out like that, especially when we're only on lap 11. So early wreck, and we'll have to see if he can get that damage fixed and possibly get back out there.
Yeah, both of those guys hitting the wall in big contact. That's going to be frustrating early with 11 laps down, stage 1. Mark Whitley up front, number 7, and Nick in the number 4. He's in P2. Brandon 6. He's in 66, car number 66 in 3rd. Ryan Dunkelberger in 26, he's in P4. And Matt Fleming, he's in P5. That wraps up your top 5 as it sits. We got a caution right now. Again, we are here, Flemdogs 200, Wheels America Cup Series. We want to thank everyone at home watching on YouTube, on the Wheels America Racing Network. Early on, not too many cautions, Brandon, but you know what? That may change after this caution unfolds and we go back green.
I mean, 'cause now, with this caution, it's going to shake things up a little bit. So now, if the lights can go ahead and cool down his tires during this caution, I think he could definitely have another go at trying to get in front of Mark Whitley, the 7 of Mark Whitley. But at the same time, you've also opened up the door for the 66, the 26, the 88 of Matt Fleming. They now have a chance to go up there and push it if they haven't been pushing it now. So it's this about a 15 lap shootout is probably what we're gonna have about if we don't have another caution. These guys are gonna be up on the wheel, because now they have a chance to really go after Mark and try to see if they can get that stage win.
Yeah, the top 10 hasn't changed too much, but we got some guys in that 15, 14th spot that have really made some moves. Joseph Mealy in that 39 car, he started grid 27th, now looking 14th. Also, we got Brian Tagg in a 99. He started 26th, now looking 17th. So big movers early for those guys. Congratulations. And then we got Ryan Masoka. Started 18th grid. Sitting 12, hasn't made a lot of moves, but he's going to try to do what he can do to get to the front, that top 10. And I think, Brandon, we're going to do the choose lane.
Need to see. It's kind of. I was trying to actually see. I was trying to see. Yes, we are. So this we're gonna go ahead and basically the guys or the drivers, I'm sorry, are gonna pick either they want to go high or low when they get to the choose car, and we're gonna pray that nobody runs into the choose car in the process. That one was really close right there.
They are really close tonight. They are not giving any room. Wow, this is kind of a good angle. AJ, thank you for the angle here of this camera. Behind the scenes, shout out to AJ. He'll be in here a little bit later to pick a driver in stage 2. Big shout out.
And these guys look like the majority of people are actually choosing the high side, which is actually a little bit interesting. Being that the high side right now is probably burning up your tires probably the most, but it's interesting. It's definitely interesting to see these guys, pick the lane, and trust me, they more than likely have a spotter that's also counting the cars and telling you which lane has the least amount of cars, and that's the lane you want to choose. As you can see, the 66 is actually now going to be the new second place driver, as he is going to be side by side with Mark Whitley. Because if you watch the truck race, you kind of saw some crazy stuff happen in that race as these guys line up side by side for the restart. But he goes ahead and is able to leapfrog the 4 of lights and is now sending P2. So the choose option, it provides some great opportunities for drivers, but at the same time it could hurt you as well. So we'll have to see how the 66 does on this restart after picking up one spot there.
Yeah, it will help some guys, hurt others. Mark Whitley is usually running that inside lane. Maybe Brandon Six felt a little more comfortable on the outside. We shall see when this pace car gets off the track. 14 laps down. Not too many to go here on stage 1 when it ends at 30 laps, and we're going to go green here in Miami, Homestead. Mark Whitley getting a jump early on the inside. Brandon Six now following on the outside as they go in turn 1.
Gonna be interesting to see what these boys can do now, because like I said, it's basically a 15 lap dash to the end of the stage, so these guys are definitely gonna be a lot more aggressive than they were at the beginning.
Tires have cooled off a little bit and they're getting a little more aggressive. Nothing's changed out front. Little contact in the back between Ryan and Nick.
And so far so good. These guys are putting on a great race. So far they're providing some great footage, I should say, for us here in the booth, because these guys are pretty much top, bottom, middle. That's what makes racing fun to watch.
Yeah, as you see there, top line almost touching the wall, comes right back, doesn't lose any speed. 26. Number 4, right on the back of Ryan. He's saying, get out of my way. I'm trying to get to the front and battle with Mark and Brandon. This may be fun to see. Ryan a little loose coming out. As he's going to take a pass. Nick on the inside. Is he going to get him?
Looks like Nick got a little tight there at the bottom. Dunkelberger might be able to hold him off coming off the corner. Looks like he does. Also allows Nick Silver now to get to run on Nick Lights as well.
This is the racing you want to see. One caution. Other than that, it's been great racing. 18 laps down. We got about 12 more to go until this stage ends.
Ooh. Looks like the 66 gives a bump to the 7.
Mark's loose.
Wow.
Looks like he goes on the inside. No caution yet.
No, look, he saved it. He did not wreck that. I don't know
Brandon had some big contact with him. I don't know how Mark saved that, but he is still on the track. Loses some position, but here, let's take a look at it. Brandon looks like he gets right in the back of Mark. Or excuse me, he's got loose.
Oh my goodness, that's close.
How did he save that?
Oh my. Any longer, and he's in those barrels. So that's gonna definitely gotta be a save for the race right there. Holy cow!
That would have ended his day. My, I thought Brandon got into him. It just looked like Mark got loose there.
Wow.
And had the ability to save it, and no yellow, still racing here. That's the save of the year, I will tell you that much.
And looks like we got, and after all that, look, we got a new leader. Ryan Dunkelberger goes and takes the lead from the 66 after the 66 to try to avoid from the 7 getting loose. And oh no, we got a wreck on the front stretch. Oh, they're still wrecking.
That's going to bring out a big caution.
Let's see what happened here. So we're gonna look like we're riding with Michael Bennett. See if we can figure out. Oh, oh. I mean, Doesn't look like it's too much damage, but oh, let's see. It look like might be more damage to 11, but we have to go back and see here, see what we can get up, maybe a little bit closer angle, maybe see how much damage these guys really have.
Oh, attack there and Kenny into the wall.
Kenny rear. I know, and I did also see the 78. I thought getting into the wall as well. I'm not sure if he got clipped, but I kind of saw that at the corner of my eye as well. So I'm not sure how much damage he has. So yeah, it looks like the number 11 Jordan brand car. Look like a new paint scheme for this week. Looks like gets a little bit of damage. It's gonna have to definitely get that fixed. I mean, this track is very, very aero dependent. If you have any type of damage, man, it's gonna be a long, long night of racing for the 11. So hopefully he can get that fixed and get back out there. We have not finished the stage yet. We are on lap 23. So these guys are gonna have to restart again and get another try to get another amazing short run to try and see who can get this stage win.
Yeah, a lot of action in this stage 1 so far. Ryan Dunkelberger now on 26 in P1. Didn't see that coming, but hey, this is racing. Mark Whitley drops quite a few spots here because of that turn and that spin. Brandon 6 in P2, Nick Silver in P3, Matt Fleming in P4, and then Nick in the number 4, he is in 5. That's your top 5 right now as it stands. 23 laps into the stage 1. Brandon, like you were saying, we go to 30 laps. And then, hey, then all the gloves come off. Everything changes on stage 2. That brings us, stage 2 is like, what, 70? I think it's 70 laps?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, we go to lap 70.
On stage 2, yes, correct. That's when the ball game kind of changes a little bit. But right now, stage 1 is not done, and we've had a ton of action. Good racing. Just some guys maybe pushing a little too hard, getting spun. One thing I like is I'm not seeing a lot of guys crash into each other after the caution's coming out. These guys are laying off and not getting in too much trouble after the fact, and we love to see that. And I know you guys at home love to see it too, because your favorite driver is getting in some contact after a wreck has happened down the stretch. It's always frustrating. Brandon, what do you think the end of the stage is going to look like? It's going to be a shootout.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to probably, and if I remember correctly, they're actually choosing this this time around. But it is, man, it's going to be a 4 or 3 lap shootout, possibly. So it's going to be a wild one. These guys are going to be on a no lift option, as we saw 3 cars go to the top already. Wow. Looks like the Highline is the preferred lane, as there is a ton of drivers going to the Highline. I think there's only been maybe 6, 7 maybe now. Cars have gone to the bottom compared to the top. So, oh, and that was close.
Brandon, I've got to say, this brings a new element to our league. I really like this angle. I like this shot that we're seeing. It's so much different than any other situation or any other races. I mean, it's just fun to watch. A lot of guys choosing the inside or top lane, man. And like you were saying, why would you want to choose the top lane over the bottom lane? What's the advantage, you think?
On the short run, it's an advantage, but that's on fresh tires. I really don't know what the advantage would be really on the long, after, you got 25, 26 laps on your tires, and the tires are already still preferably probably a little on the hot side, and you're going to run the high side and basically try to go wide open. Man, that takes some talent if you can go in and hold it off. But I guess Dunkelberger's definitely gonna go out here and try and do it.
He's gonna try. Hey, shout out to Joseph Mealy in a 39. Started grid 27, now sitting 6. That is a testament, with only 25 laps into this race, how much ground he has moved. Good job by him, as we're gonna restart here shortly. 25 laps down. 30 is gonna be the end stage of stage 1. 30 laps. Man, I don't know. Ryan Dunkelberger, Matt Fleming, Brandon, do you think he's going to hold off Nick Silver? He's in the 5 spot and number 9. He's looking fast.
I don't know. I mean, I think all three of those up top or top four up top are all teammates, so they might just fall in line and let Ryan win it. But if I know them very well, they probably won't do that.
I'll see as the green flag is out and we're underway again. Just a few laps left in this stage one. Ryan out front in the 26. Got a good jump. Brandon right behind in that 66. Side by side, you got Matt Fleming and Nick Silver.
And it looks like so far so good. Looks like a lot of clean racing going on so far. I don't see anybody getting punted or did look like there was somebody who scraped the wall a little bit possibly, but I'm not sure who that was. I did see a Harpoon design race scheme on it, but there's a lot of those out here.
Yeah, and for how hot the track is, they're doing a good job controlling the car. Look how high those guys are in the back. They are just rubbing right against that wall. Love to see it.
And Fleming is up there, man, and that was my pick for last week. And it's funny, I talked to him after the race, and he was like, "Click there, 66 going for that lead." And
on the inside, yep.
and it's funny because I had to apologize to the idiot. I was like, "I'm sorry, I think I jinxed you." He was like, "Yeah, I think you did." So I'm gonna pick him again, and I'm gonna show him that I didn't jinx him, and I'm gonna say that he's gonna have a great race tonight.
Right, well, that's your pick early on. He's shooting the gun here. We usually do it in stage 2, but he's already got his pick
no,
out there.
looks like somebody slammed the wall in the background. Again, I don't know who it was. Just another Harpoon to the side, basically, which is hard to see who it is.
And look at Nick Silver here on the inside, trying to pass the 26 of Ryan, and it looks like he does.
Oh, I think you called it.
You get Brandon.
Nick Silver is going for it. Oh, they're wrecking in the background.
Oh,
caution.
Man, Nick Silver's going to be a little frustrated about that. We got a caution in the back. What is happening?
Oh, it looks like the 48 of Drew Jua sitting on the track right now. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Big contact for Purcell.
Still getting hit. Wow. Okay, so see if we can see what happened with Drew here. Oh. Well, I guess we had to go and see what happened in the front of him. Looks like maybe the car in front of him got squeezed, so he checked up, but Drew had such a run that really had nowhere to go. So it
didn't look like anything he could do there. Unfortunate by Drew.
Looks like the 16. Oh, he got loose.
That EJ? It's a little loose.
Loose come out the corner, tried to save it. Drew had nowhere to go, and then the 48 runs to the 34 runs to the 48 because he had nowhere to go. And wow, that's So let's ride with Ryan Pasoko. Let's see if we can get his view of what happened here. All right, so we see it. We're checking. Just wow, nowhere to go. Wow. Well, that's gonna be an unfortunate event for him because I'm pretty sure that's gonna be quite a bit of damage because he hit that square on. So. Yeah, so again, that was the end of the stage, so we have to see if we can get our stage winner of Mr. I believe it was the 66 car, Brandon 6, who got that stage win. Let's see if we can get a confirmation on that. There's a lot of stuff going on, so we're going to make sure we get the right driver in here. I think it was. Let's see. Yep. Driver the 66. So yeah, we'll see if we can get him in here. Brandon 6, you guys a copy.
Yeah, how's it going?
Hey, what's up, man? Hey, congratulations on your stage 1 win. Some crazy stuff going on between you and Mark Whitley there. Looked like he ran a high side and got loose. Both end up turning down the track. That looked a little crazy. What was going on there?
I don't think he liked the fact that I pushed him into the corner. So I was trying to gun it up to get by him because I knew he wasn't gonna like it, and I think we both almost wrecked ourselves trying to avoid each other. So
Gotcha. Okay. Got anything for him, Jacob? Or Emery?
Yeah, real quick. Real quick, Brandon. So Brandon, you said earlier on when I talked to you, the track's hot. You were doing a lot of that battling with Mark. Do you think you want to take that high, the low line? What do you feel more comfortable with right now?
truthfully, I think you have to kind of stick with the low line. The high line kind of works, I think, on the short run, but if we get a long enough run, you're gonna have to stay on the bottom near the white line. It seems like there's a little bit of grip down there as the tires wear. Big key is just keeping the right rear on it, honestly.
Right on. Well, congratulations on your stage 1 win, and good luck out there. You guys are choosing at this moment. We're seeing some cars getting a little crazy. But, Brandon, again, congratulations on stage 1, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we saw some guys, these drivers choosing a little bit. It looks like we had a mix-up, so we are going to go back and try to restart this, I believe. We're not going green just yet. We're going to do a couple more paces and figure out what happened.
Yeah, there were some, I'm not sure what happened. All I saw was a car was coming with a head full of steam, and next thing you know, I just saw him slam on brakes and go way to the inside, and that was a little scary. Oh my.
And that could have been a really bad situation there, and it's unwanted. It's unfortunate. That's not something that you see every day.
No.
That could have been a lot worse. I will say that.
Yeah, that was dangerous. I'll say that. That was a little dangerous. You know, there was cars choosing, and maybe he forgot that that's basically when the choose is happening. I'm not sure. Maybe he was looking down at his dash, but I'm glad he avoided those cars, because that could have been really, really bad there.
Yeah, and right now stage 1 is finished. We got stage 2. This stage is going to go to 70 laps. Like we were talking about earlier in the broadcast, this is where all the magic happens. This is where these guys really decide on how they want to do their game plan. Are they going to save tires? If fuel comes into play, are we going to pit under green? There's so many factors in stage 2, and that's what's fun about having these stages, is that the changes, the game plan, all that stuff is a factor. So Brandon, where do you want to be in stage 2? I mean, obviously you want to be in that top 5, but if you're trying to save your tires, do you want to be back in that pack, that 8, 9, 10 area, trying to save?
I mean, it doesn't hurt to be in around the 10th place. It's not really a bad spot, because you can actually use those cars to kind of draft off of, and then you can save a little bit of tires, save a little bit of the fuel, and try to stretch it. But again, I think one of the things that these guys got to remember is even though if you try to stretch it, you still need to save probably another lap or 2, because you still got to get it back around the track. So I think it's going to be close on what they can do here. But we're about to find out as the pace car is about to drop off. And it looks like Mark Whitley is going to lead them to the green, and green is out, and they are going.
Green flag here at Miami Homestead Speedway. A lot of action in stage 1. Stage 2's not going to change. Mark Whitley out front. Brandon 6, Nick Silver now, and Matt Fleming. Your top 4. They are side by side in the middle of the pack. Josh Larson in the 51. Making some moves early here. And now he's going to make another pass here. Brandon Fetterplace gets left in the dust. Brian Tag, Bonnie battling out, number 99 and 28.
Yeah, it looks like he's definitely 99, definitely trying to make some moves on the high side. But like I said, you know, how hard do you want to push it? You know, it's usually stage 2 is about kind of conserving your tires, maybe saving a little bit of fuel. But you know, I don't see any of these guys doing that. So I mean, maybe the top, the second, third, fourth, maybe a little bit, maybe fifth, sixth looks like they're kind of riding a little bit. But everybody back behind them, it's all full throttle, looks like, from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, as we look on 12th place right here. Right tag, Brandon Cutter plays 128. Right there in the middle of that pack, battling. Good racing so far in stage 2, no cautions. 38 laps in. This stage does end at 70. You know what? Stage 2, it's time to pick your drivers, and I will pick a driver that I would like to try to get to that finish line tonight. My driver would be Joseph Mealy. He started in grid 27. He is now looking at P7, 39. Unbelievable movement by him. Brandon already picked his. I want to bring in AJ. AJ's been behind the scenes doing fantastic camera work. AJ, who's your driver this evening?
Honestly, there's a lot of good picks, but hello, everybody. A lot of really good picks, but honestly, the way he's been moving that high line later in the run better than anybody else, I'm going to have to go with the 88 of Matthew Fleming. Like, he has been very good later on in the run, using that high line and getting grip up there. So would not be surprised if he makes it towards the front, especially if we get a really nice long run here.
Yeah, Matt Fleming seems like he's been super consistent tonight. Started in that 9th spot, now looking 5th, but hasn't moved a whole lot. And you're right. I think he's going to be patient. I think he's going to save his tires. And you're going to see him in that top 5. You're going to see him in that top place trying to get the win as this stage ends at 70. Brandon, you already picked your player. You already picked your driver. What are you thinking?
Well, I think AJ is going to, you know, if something happens to the 88 this time, then I think that's on AJ. It's not on me, since we both now picked the same driver. So you know, if something happens, I blame AJ. I don't blame myself now.
Hey, he's got to not show me stuff. You know, Fleming has done a really good job these, you know, beginning opening laps, to the point where I'm like, I'm writing his name down, and then we got to you guys asking me, and I told you.
Yeah, that's okay. He's got double cursing. That's on you guys. That's not me.
Well, does one cancel the other one out?
I'm not sure how that works, but I don't think so.
There's nothing wrong with two people picking the 88. I think that's a great option. I mean, you said it. I mean, his long run pace seemed like it was pretty good. He still hung around the top 5, and I think he's just buying his time. You know, he knows what those guys are up there doing. He knows how hard they're pushing, so he's like, all right, well, I know how hard you're pushing, so I'm gonna dial it back just a little bit more than you, because if you can do that, then hey, toward the end of that run, if we stay green, hey, I can go ahead and leapfrog you because you burnt up your tires more than me. So he knows what he's doing out there. He's a winner last season, so you know, he's just waiting for the right track, the right combination of things to happen, and I think he'll be in victory lane.
Yeah, huge shout out to everybody at home right now. It looks like we got just over 30 people watching. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We want to hear from you. What driver are you picking? Who is your driver? And who do you think's winning this race? Guys, I'm going to send it right back to you. Great job.
Thank you, AJ. And yes, everybody at home, give your shout out. You guys can talk and chat. We're watching it throughout this race. One thing I did want to bring up as well is Jeff and Brian Tag their battle. They're both, Jeff in an 87 and Brian in 99. They both started low in the grid, and now they're looking at 12th and 13th position. Jeff started in 30th. Brian Tagg started in 26th. And they're battling each other, trying to work their way up to that top 10. We love to see that. We got no cautions here in stage 2. We got great racing going on.
Yeah, I think stage 1, I think those guys were, like I said before, you had the cautions kind of happening, so those guys were a little bit more aggressive. But I think this time, these guys kind of learned from stage 1, which is kind of what I expected. And then they're going to basically take what they learned from stage 1 and apply it to this stage and realize, oh, hey, maybe I'm pushing it a little too hard. Maybe I don't have to push it so hard. Maybe I can save the tires a little bit or save a little bit of fuel to try and make it to the end. The likelihood of a caution coming out, unfortunately, it's still a 50-50 chance. And if a caution comes out in the middle of you pitting or right after you pitting, that could either hurt. That could probably really, really hurt you if it's, if you don't get your lap back. So, these guys have got a lot of thinking to do while they're racing and trying to figure out how they can get to the front. As looks like 12 looks like maybe just kissing the wall a little bit there. He's been running the high line the whole race. He's making passes though, so I'm not mad at him.
Big pass right there. High line is an interesting one. Not everyone's doing it, but the guys that are running it are right on the wall, and for some of them, it's paying off. That's the cool thing, and that's the fun thing about Homestead is depending on what line you want to take, it's working. If it's working for you, keep running that line. Is that correct? I mean, that's all it's about. If you feel comfortable in that top line, then you're going to run it. But some of these guys, a majority of the guys, are running the bottom line. And I think that may be working best for them. But we'll see at the end of this race what line works best for them. We still have 48 laps down right now. We're going to go to 70 for stage 2.
Yeah, and kind of back up what you were saying. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're comfortable up there, then fine. Then run up there. But unfortunately, from what I can see, it looks like Jamie Graham is actually in the car. He's substituting for Frankie Barroso for tonight. But it looks like he's comfortable up there, and that's the line he wants to run, and that's perfectly fine. Unfortunately, looks like he's in the wall again. He's learning. I will say by the end of tonight, he's going to be larcening that wall by the end of the night. So
that right side might be a little damaged when we're all said and done. Man, one name we haven't talked about a whole lot tonight, Robert Hassan. Maybe he's saving some tires. He's in that 20th position right now. He started 32nd, but we got some chatter that he might be saving some tires, and that comes from Will American Racing Network. That's what they may be talking about, but you never know.
Yeah, and they got actually the Budweiser scheme on there tonight, looking like an old throwback to Dale Jr. Looking pretty good as the lead is heating up yet again.
We are back battling out front. Mark Whitley, Brandon Six, and Ryan. Not uncommon names. Marks gets a little loose. Brandon Six, can he take advantage of it? He goes on the inside. Looks like he's going to get him.
These guys, the 7 and the 66, have such a rivalry going on right now. It's absolutely incredible how hard they race each other. But guess what? It puts on a great show for us, though. And Dunkelberger looks like he is the one who might be sitting in the catbird seat.
Yeah, Ryan says, just wait a second here. I'm right behind you guys. I'm on the outside pushing. Passing Brandon now, it looks like. Mark's still up front.
Yeah, looks like so Whitley was able to squirt away just a little bit, but I had to see. Maybe he was saving his tires as well, and now he put the afterburners on because now he is kind of holding his own right now.
Yeah, now Brandon falls back to 4th as Nick Silver's in 3rd. He's in the mix trying to get up there in the one.
They touch.
He's saying,
right,
hello,
boys.
I'm here. Ryan's not giving any room tonight.
Let's get us loose there. Oh my goodness, these guys are all over the place.
Now Mark's going to fall back to 3rd. Nick Silver's going to get a pass on the inside. Can Brandon get him as well? They are 1-2 up front, 26 and the 9. Mark Whitley might fall back to 4th, but it looks like he's going to hold off. as they are single file.
I'm being being told there is a poll in the chat for YouTube for the broadcast, and it's to see who's going to win the rivalry tonight. Is it going to be the 66 of Brandon 6 or the 7 of Mark Whitley? Our producer AJ is a wild man, but
I love to see that.
good poll though. Good poll.
Yeah, I think that's the first time we've done that this year, and that's a great poll to choose on. But man, anyone can win it tonight as Mark Whitley sits back in fourth, and these guys up front saying, "Hey, see you later. We're out of here." Mark Whitley trying to find the line that's going to work best for him. We're 55 laps into stage 2. This stage ends at 70. Mark Whitley on the inside now. The lane he's been choosing the whole race is he's now losing a lot of spots, man. I think he's going to drop another one.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think he burnt up his tires in the process of trying to stay out front. I mean, and again, at the beginning of the broadcast, we said that, you know, these guys are really aggressive. And we can see
we got
guys
people
on pit road right now.
Stage 2, this is what we were talking about as well, Brandon. We got green flag pitting, and this will change a lot of the strategy for those guys and the guys on the track right now up front trying to figure out what they're going to do.
Yeah, it's the strategy is all over the place at this point. They just pitted on lap 56, so that gives them what 20 something laps. I'm sorry, bad with my math right now, but 20 something laps to try and make it. I mean, they're good. They should be able to make it. But these guys who are going to attempt to stay out, how much did they save? Sorry, my math is really bad. 15 laps away to make it, but it's gonna be interesting to see what these guys can do. You know, 15 laps. You know, you can go out there and you can run some really, really fast laps, but you know, how close are these guys on the field? Did they save enough? Do they have enough to get to the stage and then another one to make it back around again? I mean, Mark Whitley, I don't think he saved anything because he went, you know, pretty hard from the beginning. So it'll be interesting if he will stay out or he pits, but I think he's gonna have to pit for sure.
Yeah, Mark Whitley out front there for a long time and now falling way back. You gotta think he's got to pit. He's burned his tires up. He's got to change those out and get as he doesn't pit on this lap. But yeah, it's crazy to see. I would imagine Mark would know that he has some sort of strategy in the back of his pocket trying to figure out what he's doing. But he's just fell back so many spots. It's kind of strange on what's happening. I don't think it's a car issue. He hasn't touched the wall. He hasn't done anything like that. But
guys,
we'll see what happens here.
just think about this. He had a 2.5 second lead on the
he's
field.
Gonna have to do something.
And
so,
now he's on pit road.
I don't know what he can really do. And the longer he stays out, he's gonna he came down pit road now. He must have been listening to us.
Yeah. You knew he had to get in there and change those tires because he just could not keep up with Ryan and Nick and Andrew up front anymore.
Now the only problem with this is that he's allowed other guys behind him to already pit, so they were already faster than him, so they're gonna more than likely leapfrog him, and then he's gonna have to, as he enters pit road, his pit lane very, very gingerly, not aggressive at all, but he's gonna definitely lose some spots. So maybe the plan is to maybe come back out, maybe not push it as hard, and try to not pit again, because now he's, in 10 laps. He's going to have to pit again for fresh tires. So, I don't know what the strategy is that he has planned, but I still wouldn't count him out because he's come back for some crazy situations to still finish, either win or to finish in the top 5.
Yeah, and absolutely. The crazy thing is the last races we've seen him out front, right? We've seen him get these big leads and not have any issues like we just saw. So, I think he might have overran the car a little bit and smoked his tires, but we got a battle up front right now between Ryan and Nick Silver. 62 laps in, we're almost finished with stage 2. Nick trying to go on the inside by Ryan. Can he get that pass?
No, doesn't look like. Oh, let's do side by side. And they're teammates, so it's a matter of, hey, how much time do I want to waste battling my teammate? I think if you're the 9 and the 26, you got to work out a deal. Like, hey, just go ahead. If your goal is to go ahead and just lead the lap, then go ahead and do that. Give it back to me and let me roll. But um, you know, the more side by side they use, the more gas they're wasting. So it looks like the 9 car is actually starting to pull away a little bit. So looks like he just might be over. Oh, the 26 gets loose right there. Woo! Good save.
Saved it.
You're still green. Now it's going to be a matter of, for the guys that pitted, it's going to be everything for them to try and make up as many spots as possible. The only problem, again, as I said before, like, situation with Mark Whitley, these guys are more guys that start coming down pit road, and they are super, super aggressive. As I'm watching that. But with Mark Whitley, I mean, the thing for him, he's got to get his lap back. If he does not get his lap back, he's at least got to be the first car lap down to get the lucky dub.
Yeah, it looks like he is at this point going to be a lap down, but he's right there on the tail. About a second or so. There's now a couple of guys, but they are pitting, so there's a big mix-up. We talked about this stage 2.
There's a caution. They're wrecking on the front stretch. Oh, and that changes everything.
We've always said, Brandon, it seems like when these guys are pitting and we have an idea of what their solution's going to be, this happens. We got a caution, and hey, everything's thrown out the window. Crumple that piece of paper. Everything we talked about, just throw it out the window and put it in the trash. Let's see what happened on this caution.
So
it's
look
like EJ Marshall, yeah.
Look like he.
Or AJ, sorry.
Did he run it? Did he just run him over? I don't know if he ran him over or. Oh!
Brandon, I think it's a little bit of checkup situation. One guy, in front was trying to get to pit road and maybe slowed down a little bit.
So I'm going to go ahead and pit. Or actually, you know what? I'm sorry. That actually might be the end of that stage. We need to go back and look at that. Because it has to be within 5 laps. So I think that was the end of the stage. We need to double check. But I believe Nick Silver will actually be your stage 2 winner.
It does stand. Congratulations to Nick Silver. He's been battling all night, all day, I should say. He started in grid 6, now in 1. But man, he's been in that top 10 the whole race.
Looks like Nick, it is confirmed. The number 9 of Nick Silver gets the stage 2 win. So congratulations to him. We'll see if we can grab him and see if we can see what he had to say. Nick Silver, it's Brandon Bowie in the booth, and Emery, you got a copy?
I do.
Congratulations on your stage 2 win. Man, talk about being in the right place at the right time. Tell us how the race is going so far for you.
It's going pretty well. It's all about saving the tires, and I think I'm doing a decent job so far. Able to be kind of towards the front there after everybody starts losing it. But yeah, I was just going to run that out till I needed a pit because I felt like I've seen that movie before, and was hoping to catch the caution like I did, and ended up working.
Right on. And Nick, real quick, you saw Mark fall off right there. I think he burned his tires up a little bit. You've been battling with Brandon and some other guys up front. We're going to be on stage 3. What are your thoughts? Are you going to continue this tradition of saving those tires, or is this where you put it in gear and try to get that win?
Definitely going to keep saving the tires. Yeah, it seems like Mark and maybe 6 are burning up their stuff a little quicker than I am, so just going to keep at it.
Well, Nick, congratulations on that stage 2 win, and good luck to the rest of the race. Maybe we'll see you in victory lane.
Go for it. Thank you.
Well, Brandon, I think that's the key. I think that's key tonight. You hear Nick Silver talking about saving those tires. I don't know, man. There's a couple other guys that I think are doing the same thing, and we may see some big changes down the road on this race in stage 3.
Oh yeah, for sure. And for the folks at home that didn't get the chance to see this, there as of right now, there's only 8 cars on the lead lap. There's going to be a boatload of wave arounds when those guys get a chance to do that. But that also gives Nick Silver, Brandon Six, Matt Smith, Dunkelberger, and Mitch Diamond. I mean, they're sitting in the catbird seat right now. They got fresh tires. Everybody else who's getting the wave around has got multiple laps on their tires. This race just completely changed. And the only way that it's going to save those guys who are having to take the wave around is they're going to need another caution. So this is going to be interesting as we are getting word that the choose car blew up. Is that what I just heard?
Is that confirmed?
I'm trying to get confirmation now, but if that is true, I have to see.
We're gonna need a new mechanic if that is the case. Well, before we start this stage 3, we want to thank you again, all at home, watching here on YouTube, Flemdogs 200 Wheels America Cup Series, and you guys watching on YouTube with Wheels America Racing Network. Big shout out to our sponsors, Wheels America, Admin Box, Flemdogs, Units, moving the portable storage, the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast, and a big shout out to Harpoon Design. So, gonna be a little stall here. We're trying to figure out what's going on. We got 70 laps now done, and then we're gonna go to the final to 125. We're actually getting confirmation that that might have happened, Brandon. I think.
Sorry, I'm not laughing. I'm laughing with you guys.
I don't know. I'm not sure. This might be first ever on anything of iRacing that could ever happen, but it might have happened, and I love it. This is fantastic. This is live, live broadcasting, live TV, whatever you want to call it. I think it's great, but.
Man, I you know what? It's Thursday night, so guess what we're gonna do? Green flag is about to come out, as Nick Silver is gonna lead us to the green flag, and they are off. Oh no, wait!
Caution is
caution
back
again.
out.
Something happened in the back.
I think they extended it before we went. We got a couple more cautions, trying to figure out what is going on here in Miami Homestead Speedway. We got all this stuff happening.
Yeah, we're a little bit in shambles right now, but folks, bear with us. We'll get it together. Promise.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. There's so much stuff behind the scenes that goes on. I mean, what are we supposed to do? But you know what? We're here. we are doing it, Brandon. You are under the weather. I'm thankful you came out here and was in the booth with me tonight. Because if I had to do this by myself, holy cow.
I'm hearing AJ got something to say. AJ, what you got, man?
So we've been under caution for the last 4 laps, and we've seen drivers be able to go about 23 to 26 laps on fuel. What do you guys think this is going to do for the end of the race? Because it looks like we're going to have at least one more stop, and if people really try pushing it, they could probably try to make it on that one stop, but definitely 2 is, I think, the way to go, because I think it'll be way too slow if you're trying to save that many laps on fuel.
Yeah, and AJ, you brought that up. I'm not sure if the drivers are actually seeing that as well or thinking about that. I know some of them are, but that is a good point to bring up because that is a huge point. There is no more stages until the checkered flag, and it's a fantastic point. Brandon, what are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I'm in shambles.
He was just relaying the message.
Yes, absolutely. This race is absolutely been crazy from start to finish. Rivalries now starting to build, which is exciting, and people getting caught laps down because of pitting, and now we got Chu's car blew up. I mean, this feels like Daytona, like the situation that happened at Daytona when Montoya hit the jet dryer.
Oh God.
Yeah,
It's just crazy.
something you just will never forget. And unfortunately, it's unfolding tonight. But all you can do is enjoy this moment and have fun with it. And Brandon, what do you think about the fuel situation now? That's what we were trying to bring this up. Like, what is this going to change the game? I'm smiling. I'm almost laughing.
Yes.
I haven't
keep
stopped
my
laughing.
composure.
This is pretty crazy. But yes, to answer your question, the fuel game definitely changes. I mean, these guys are, when you go into the problem is when you go into a race or when you are preparing for a race, you have the mentality of, okay, this is when the stage ends. This is how much I need to save. This is how much I need to save on tires, etc., etc. When you kind of have like these wrenches kind of thrown at you and cautions in the middle of pitting and stuff like that, it's it's a little crazy because it changes your thought process, and now you got to be able to change on the fly. And honestly, that's what makes really, really good and great drivers being able to do that. But I think for right now, I mean, I think you still got to say, the same thing you've been doing, kind of like what Silver said when we interviewed him: save your tires, save your fuel, and try to be there at the end. As we're gonna try to restart again. Looks like we're gonna let Nick Silver lead, and Green is out, and they are gone.
They are really gone. And guys, going down into turn one, you're gonna see how far Dunkelberger's gonna throw it in there. And he's gonna try to run it towards the outside coming out of turn two for a better run, but here comes Brandon Six.
All three of those guys again are teammates, so I don't think they're gonna be too aggressive around each other. Probably just ride. Again, probably just trying to save maybe a little bit of tires, a little bit of fuel. No matter what, I don't think these guys can make it on fuel. I'm pretty confident that they cannot. So, but if there's a way that they can save tires, save fuel, and when they pit, not have to put as much fuel into it, that saves you a little bit of time on pit road. And I think that's what these guys are starting to figure out.
Honestly, Bowie, what I was really surprised with all those extra caution laps, nobody came down and topped off. I'm really shocked by that.
I think if you, yes, you can do
Oh,
that.
pass for the lead.
Tight pass for the lead. This is 26, side draft to 9. As I said, these guys probably wouldn't do that, which we are. But yeah, if these guys, pit and do that, then you're in the back of the field, and we've seen how hard it is to pass. Yes, we've had a couple of drivers being able to come from the back to the front, but for the most part, it's still hard to pass. It's still hard to save fuel while you're back there because there's so much stuff going on. So I think at that point, you just save as much as you can. And, if you need a caution, maybe hope for a caution. If not, then you guys stay green and hope that everybody else burns up the tires, which I'm pretty sure that's what Nick Silver's hoping they do.
And I am back. I apologize. I just had to step away for a quick second. Appreciate you covering. I think AJ did a little bit as well. Action I missed. We got Ryan and Nick and Brandon up there in top 1, 2, and 3, but 25 right there. Andrew Phipps battling. Matt Fleming in the 88 as well up there.
Yeah, oh my goodness, you see some guys running the high line. Josh Larson, the 51, he is not caring. He is going up there, and last time I talked to him, he said he loves it up there. Oh, the 21. Oh, gets completely sideways. But did he hit the
Was he
wall?
in
Oh,
contact?
no.
Big.
Oh.
No. That's
Oh,
gonna
and
leave
racing
some.
again. It looked like Nick Lights gets turned on the front on the backstretch.
Two fan favorites getting loose and having some contact. Oh,
Yeah, look
getting
like
spun there. Looks like he stays off the track and he's going to keep it clean. All right, guys, this brings up another caution, but we're going to bring it to a commercial and say thanks to our sponsors, and we will be right back here in Miami.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Welcome back to Miami, where there has been some shamble stuff going on and some wild racing. I am lost for words, but I'm actually having fun tonight. This has been great, great entertainment. Brandon is in the booth with me as well again, and I think we're both enjoying what's unfolding. 81 laps in, we're about to be finished. We're on the third stage. Brandon, I'm lost for words, man.
Yeah, this is it's still great racing, man. I mean, these guys are really just giving it their all, and that's all I can ask for, right? You know, you're out there, especially as a team owner, you're out there and you're watching, you know, these drivers go out there and side draft and just, you know, put it on the wall and do a Larson. I'm not gonna say do a watermelon boy because I don't agree with what happened there. We're not even gonna get into that, but we're gonna say do a Larson. But you know, these guys, I think ultimately these guys are out here having fun. You know, it's hot and slick. You know, these guys can run multiple grooves, but that's what's fun as a driver. You know, you're trying to learn on the fly. You know, you're learning how hard you need to really push your tires and how hard to save fuel. And you know, once you have all that, it puts on a great show as well.
Yeah, and the guys putting on shows right now. We've got one guy we haven't talked about enough tonight, Matt Smith. He started 22nd. He's in the 54 car. He is now 7th position. Joseph Mealy back up there. He started 27th, now in 9th. And two other guys actually. Brian Tagg in the 99. He started 26th position. Now he's 11th. And then one other. We got Brandon Shelton, grid 31, now sitting P13. Watch out for those guys. They know how to drive this track, and they're trying to work their way through and get to that top 5, maybe a win. Love to see that.
Yeah, if these guys can go ahead and look like we're hearing some issues with the Tetro car? Let's see what happened here. Oh, Ryan with the 87. Oh.
You know, that might be a situation where he might have disconnected from
Yeah, either
or a
maybe
monitor. That might be yeah. That's the only thing I think of.
Yeah, and it's crazy because that type of stuff can happen, and it sucks. I mean, I've had it happen to me, and I mean the great thing is it looked like he got it fixed possibly. So I mean, but if he was, side by side of a car and he just turned left, or
Just gonna say that, Brandon.
There's a car there and he takes somebody out. I mean, man, you just feel so bad. For both drivers, because of the situation that happens. But it happens. This is part of sim racing. Wheels come unplugged, monitors blackout, and internet drops. I mean, this is part of the sim racing world. We just consider that mechanical issues.
Yeah, and good thing good thing he went hard left instead of hard right, because that could have been a lot worse. And it's happened. I think it's happened to you, Brandon. It's happened to me before. I've had my monitor go completely black, and the only time I know it happens is when I turn it back on. Usually it's not good.
Yeah, exactly. And you have a lot of people upset and mad.
Yes, it is. You're like, it's not my fault, and then you got to message everybody. But hey, that's part of this iRacing stuff. Everyone's has had it happen. Maybe not everyone, but majority. We're gonna go green again here at Homestead, Brandon.
Yeah, we're going to see if we can get this going again. Pace car is off. Driver is leading the field. It's going to be Ryan Dunkelberger. And the green is out. Great restart by the 26 car. I think the high line didn't really get going there. Looks like there's definitely some separation there. But, the car is way up high. I don't know who that is. Possibly the 54?
Think it was, touches the wall and stays up there.
He hit it, but I don't think he hit it that hard, so he should be okay. Might have some bruises and scrapes, but 34 is now loose. What is going on?
Fresh tires, I think what's happening, and it's still a hot track in Miami. Matt Smith, like we were just talking about, hits that wall. He's going to fall back quite a bit. Unfortunate, because he was having a good run.
All right, boys, you got to settle down. Settle down. Get in the groove.
Yep. Nick Silver in the second spot, trying to make that move on the inside. I feel like that's where he's been racing this whole day. Can he make a move here? He's got Brandon 6 right behind him, trying to push him past Ryan Dunkelberger. Can he get it? Doesn't look like it. Ryan 26, very strong out front. Fresh air. A little blinkage on the inside. A lot of blinking. Typically don't see that from him.
You want to know what though? It looks like he got it together. He's able to continue. So I mean, that's as we were just talking about mechanical issues. I mean, we're definitely seeing it all tonight.
We have seen it all tonight here in Miami. That's what you expect, man. Miami, party town, party city. What are you supposed to do?
Absolutely. And look, Nick Lights was spun with this last caution, and he is on a mission to get back to the front.
I'll tell you this right now, Brandon. I'm looking at the I should actually talk to AJ about this. I am looking at the vote. We have Mark Whitley and Brandon 6 up there. Brandon 6 with 67% of the votes. Mark Whitley with 33%. Looks like the chat is calling it as they see it, because Brandon 6 is sitting third. Mark Whitley is down there ways, trying to make his way back.
10th place, guys. 10th place.
Whitley is sitting P10. I mean, I wouldn't say it's that far, but I would say, what we've seen from Mark tonight is, unfortunately, that he's kind of burning up the tires a little bit. So he's going to have to do a little bit better on saving his tires, so that way he can have something for those guys up front. But, if he wants to go up there and win, he's going to have to figure out to either save his tires, or he's going to need to get a caution that falls the right way for him, so he can go out there and just go.
Yeah, Nick Silver, we were talking about saving some tires with him. He's looking pretty comfortable up there in P2. He's been strong all night, making passes on the inside and on the outside. I think he's just I think he's holding back. I think he could make that pass over Ryan, but I don't think he wants to burn those tires up. So he's going to hold back, be patient, and when the time is right, we got a lot of laps left in this stage 3. He'll make his move, but don't count out Nick Lights in the number 4. He's right there. Matt Fleming and Drew Drua back up there in 6th.
Yeah, and some of these guys, I mean, I think that's the highest Drew has been pretty much all night. I think because he had some issues. He did start 4th, but I think he had some issues because he actually was way behind the pack at the very beginning of the run.
Yeah, I think he was involved in the first caution on the front stretch, if I'm not mistaken. He got into contact early with another car, so.
Yeah, so if you think about it, it took him a very long time to try and get back up here, but he's finally made it back up here, and he's going to go out here and try to see what he can do. Because right now, I think that the person to beat is probably Nick Silver. He looks like the best at saving his tires and saving his equipment. So it's if the caution doesn't come out, it's going to be interesting.
It will be, and as I talked about to the chat on YouTube, watching live right now, Mark Whitley's getting some more love on that poll. He's now at 43%. Brandon 6 at 57. So Mark's getting some more votes. I'm not sure how it's going to unfold, but Ryan and Nick Silver, I think they might be the winners tonight, if not the top 1 and 2 or 2 and 3. So it's going to be interesting. Fun to see how this plays out.
Nick Light is back. Lights and Whitley are back up front, and they are going to put it to them to try and take that from them. But again, I hope they didn't burn up their tires trying to get there, because it's not going to last long.
You saw it in stage 2 happen to Mark in the number 7. 66 on the inside.
I think we should do rivalry polls every week. I think that provides some great content.
I agree. That's good stuff for the people at home watching live on the Wheels American Racing Network.
He's going for it.
That is close racing right there.
Ooh, he's loose.
Gonna get past. Oh.
I think Dunkelberger had to leave out there because it was it was pretty close. The lights kind of coming up and tagging them, so I think he knew, like, okay, I'm just gonna have to let him go.
All right, and you know what? Lap 95 right now. We're gonna bring the noise. We are bringing the noise, sponsored by Harpoon Designs. Thank you so much. We love that, Brandon. That is one of the best parts of this race is when they bring the noise.
Absolutely. Y'all know that is my favorite thing to do, or sorry, not to do, but just to listen to it, man, because these cars sound absolutely amazing. Especially at a track where we're wide open. I can't wait to go to a road course, then you can really hear them shifting gears and everything. Oh, can't wait for that. But back to Homestead here, as we saw a change for the lead as Mark Whitley passed Nick Lights for P1, and now we got Nick Silver. Looks like he's gonna start to make his way to the front. Looks like those guys are kind of bright. Oh, and we got a wreck with the 25 and the 12.
Just when I was going to talk about Mark and how his saving tires is paying off because he's P1, we've got a caution. Who is involved this time? Let's see what happens here.
Let's see what happened here.
Is it Andrew Phipps?
It's a block.
Oh. So I'm seeing some chat. I'm hearing some chatter down below. It looks like where there was a block situation, and Andrew did not let up, and he said, "I'm going to go right through you," and cost them both some damage to those cars. That is unfortunate.
I'm hearing also the 12 with a lap down. So, if that's the case, I don't know if he was blocking, why you're blocking as a lap down car.
Well, if we roll it back, he might have been trying to get out his way down below, and Andrew didn't get the call, or I'm not sure how this unfolded. Let's take a look right here. So he is a lap car.
Looks like Andrew. Yeah, Andrew makes the move, and then he goes to block again. I don't understand what the move for the block was. I mean, maybe he was trying to maybe let him go, but I don't know. That's an unfortunate situation. It was going to be an interesting finish here. Now it's going to have a wild 20-lap shootout. So it's going to be interesting.
Mark in the pits coming out right now as you see it live. He's going to be still, I believe, in that P1 position, followed by Nick Silver and Nick in the number 4 P3. Man, there is a lot of stuff to process tonight because there is so much stuff unfolding. I don't know where to begin here in Miami Homestead. I know there's a lot of action at this speedway, but I didn't anticipate this much. If you go to any part of this race, you will have a new story. So 23 laps to go here at stage 3. Names have changed up front. Mark Whitley, Nick Silver, Nick Lights in 4th spot. Or sorry, 3rd. Ryan Dunkelberger in the 26. He's in 4th position. Brandon 6 in that 66. He's in P5. Drew Drua. Now he is back P6. Love to see it. Matt Fleming there in 7th position as well. Don't count him out. Man, thank you guys everybody for being here. I see you guys still chatting there at the Wheels America Racing Network. Love our sponsors, Harpoon Design. Big shout out to you. He's got that 7 car always looking fresh, and he is up there in P1. Got to be happy about that, Brandon. Man.
Yeah, it's man, it's hard to, watch these guys, because I know these guys are so passionate. As I was listening to some of the talk and from some of the drivers, and sounds like there's lots of frustration. I mean, for us, it seems like we're watching a great race. So I don't know. I don't know what these guys are feeling right now. I mean, I'm not in the car, so I don't know. I know it's hot and slick, and maybe they're just heated under the helmet because it's, everybody's driving their butts off, and that's more than likely what it is. But man, these guys have got to calm down and got to, finish it. I mean, we're having such a good race, but we can't be driving over our heads and causing cautions for no reason. So, we're gonna have like I said, about a 20 lap shootout. And man, Mark Whitley could be in the catbird seat. I mean, we know how fast he is on the short run. And if it's if it stays green, it's gonna be hard for anybody to catch him. So this is it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, he's always been so strong out front when he's in this position. You see a lot of times he is in this position at this point in time of the race. 21 laps to go. Does really good on restarts. There's going to be a battle. Nick Silver in the number 9 has been so strong. He's sitting 2, and like we talked to him on that stage 2 finish, I believe it was, is he's been saving his tires. Mark Whitley fell off. He fell off with about 10 laps to go in stage 2. That may be a situation again here at the end of the race. So either Nick Silver has been saving his tires because he might be the smartest driver on the track, or they both may lose it. But we are green flag here in Miami. 20 laps to go. We've got a race on our hands. Mark Whitley, Nick Litz in the 4 out front.
Way too many Nicks in this race.
I know, that's a lot.
Yeah, a whole bunch of Nicks, but you know what though? It's gonna be interesting. 'Cause like I said, it's a 20 lap shootout. How much do you save? How much do you not save? Do you save it all? I mean, these guys have got to make a decision, and it's got to be quick because these 20 laps are gonna click off really quickly.
Joseph Mealy making a run too. Started 27th and 9th, trying to make his way up there. Devin Ray in the 22 started 7th. Now looking
Somebody getting
13th.
loose. Looks like the 16 got loose coming out of 2 there. Let's see if we can go back and check that out. I think that was the 16. Yeah, I'm pretty confident it was the 16. Looks like he just got loose coming out of 2. Tagged the wall a little bit, but looks like he still kept it straight, so still all good. Woo!
Little loose, holds on to it, hits the wall.
Yeah, that's a pretty good lick there.
Could have been a lot worse there.
But AJ, you got something for us?
What's up, everybody? We got about 7 laps before 10 to go. That's when the poll is going to close. So for everybody watching at home, if you haven't voted yet, go vote on who you think is going to win. Mark Whitley or Brandon Sixth. Right now you have Whitley on the point right now, but Brandon Sixth is back in 5th. So if you haven't yet, go vote. With a little bit of a knowledge here, Whitley just put down a 33:27 fastest lap of the race on 109.
Love it. And the numbers have changed a little bit. Brandon Six at 56%. The winner tonight is what they're voting, and Mark Whitley 44%. Hasn't changed a whole lot, but it's right there. That is a good and new touch to our broadcast. We love to engage with you guys at home watching live on YouTube. Thank you for being here. Mark Whitley out front by himself. Number 7 car. Going to be a hard driver to beat because he's looking faster than ever. We look at Devin Ray, number 7. Now he's looking at the 12 spot. He's been pretty consistent in that 22. That black car, I like that paint scheme.
Yeah, the paint scheme is definitely clean. I like it as well. I mean, but hey, look, I said at the beginning, if you can be there at the end, guess what? You're going to have a great finish. And that's more than likely what he's looking to do right now. It's just go ahead, collect the points, have a great finish. Let's move on to the next race, and let's see if we can have a better run at it. So, winning is great. Finishing the top 3 is great. And, for some of these guys, it is a little bit more difficult to do. And these guys are out here and they're learning. That's what they're here for. They're here to learn. To learn how to run this track, how to drive this car, how to make passes. And as you're getting to the end of the race, I mean, these guys are having to really kind of, in a sense, knuckle up and put their elbows up, and they got to drive. I mean, they got to go out here, and it's going to get loose because now you're driving harder than you probably have all race long. So as Mark Whitley puts on a even bigger gap on Nick Silver, I'm telling you, man, I don't know if Nick is going to catch him. I mean, Mark has been fast for about 15 laps. He goes out there and puts on a heck of a show. And he can go ahead and just be fast. And then, it looks like we got a caution. Looks like in the back.
You did it, Brandon. And look at that. You had him out front.
Hold your brakes, hold your brakes. Oh, no.
That does not sound good.
Looks like the 28 of Landry Monty.
Oh, no. Brandon's looking at the wreck here in the back. Let's see what happened. You guys at home, we're going to see how it unfolded. 28.
Oh,
Landry
got turned.
Got turned.
Oh, but the worst part, he didn't. I mean, he's trying to hold his brakes, but collected two other cars. And it's that body standards, man. That's you get all the way to the end, don't get caught up in anything, and then get clipped.
Yeah, that's stuff
gotta be
we were
frustrating.
talking about earlier. These cautions where the spin's there, the caution's out, and then you just get caught up in this stuff. Just Joe on board.
And after this, we're gonna have to look at.
He doesn't want to go too low into the grass. He doesn't know where to go up high. I mean, that is just a bad break for him. He's got to be done. You're gonna tow that back to the pits, Brandon. Dang.
I just saw some crazy strategy just right now. People pitted, and some people stayed out. There are some guys that do not have any more tires. So this is about to get really, really crazy now. This is actually going to probably be very, very exciting because now you're going to try and have Mark Whitley, Nick Lights, Drew Jula, Mitch Diamond, I think
Brandon
Nick Silver
Shelton,
pitted,
Matt
Brandon
Smith,
Shelton, Matt Smith,
and EJ Marshall.
and EJ Marshall all stayed out, more than likely because they don't have any more sets of tires. The guys that pitted, they're more than likely going to be almost a second faster, or probably half a second to probably, I'll probably say a second faster. Probably a second faster than that whole front field. This is about to get wild.
Yeah, I don't bet a whole lot of times, but if I were to bet on how this race is going to unfold tonight, with the way that just happened, I would put a lot of money on it because holy smokes, 10 laps ago, and we're going to be green with what, maybe 8, Brandon? I think that's about right. Maybe
about 7 or 8 in the first car on fresh tires, 4 fresh tires, I believe is Nick Silver. So it's gonna be interesting. And you got my man Matt Fleming in the 88 car. He's sitting P8. I don't know. I don't think he pitted, unfortunately.
Which he did not pit. If Matt Fleming in the 88 did not pit, I am loving the position that Nick Silver has right now in the P9. He has fresh tires. Am I incorrect there?
Oh no, I'm sorry, I'm incorrect. Matt Fleming did pit. He only took 2 tires.
Okay, I like that move.
So that's gonna be an interesting move as well. The only problem is the track is loose with 4 tires. So you're more than likely gonna be even more free on 2 tires. But if you're Matt Fleming, go for it. Why not? Just you gotta do something other than what the guys in front of you are doing, because you gotta be able to make the move. And then with the choose,
there we are. We're choosing right now.
And it doesn't really look like there's an advantage. Looks like he's about even now with Nick Silver, so I have to go back and look to confirm, but I think he's pretty much even. Yeah. So, I mean, he did kind of make up some spots, but at the same time, he really didn't. So, Nick Silver is gonna have his this is gonna get interesting. He's gonna have his work cut out to try and get to the front. And then you still have, Mark Wickley and Nick Lights that's gonna probably try to battle their hearts out to try and stay out in front. And then you got people behind you. So
yeah,
I don't know if we have enough cameras for everybody.
I don't think we do. If you have guys out front like Mark and Nick, we got Drew and Mitch, right? That's the 1, 2, 3, and 4. They are on old tires. Okay, they've been running them hard as you can to try to finish this last stage off, get to the finish and get a win. But then you get a caution comes out and these guys behind you now have fresh tires. It's gonna be crazy. As the pace car is off, we're gonna have 8 laps to go when we go green, and we are underway here in Miami at Homestead Speedway.
Nick makes the move. He's going 3 wide. Oh, they're checking up. Oh, the 16 is loose.
Yep, to the
He's
line.
still
No
loose.
caution yet. No caution. 16's down below under the white line.
Nick is going for it. He's 3 wide. Did he get in front of Fleming? And yes, he makes the pass on Fleming. He's going for Brandon Shelton. Clock is ticking, boys. Well, I should say the laps are ticking down. The clock.
Time does matter in this race. 7 laps to go. Flemdogs 200 at Homestead in Miami. It's been unbelievable as we're getting loose on the backstretch. Mark Whitley out front, Drew and Nick Lights in the 4. Can anybody catch Mark? That is going to be the question. A lot of time left. Can they do it?
And they don't get a caution. That will help Nick. Nick needs it to stay green.
Joseph Mealy, Brandon Shelton now making their way.
Wait, he's coming out the corner.
3 wide almost here. Six laps to go. Mark Whitley way out front. They're battling behind him. Side by side as they cross. Can Matt Fleming do it tonight? He's in P3 looking strong.
He is loose though. I think those 2 tires didn't necessarily help him, but it definitely helps him make up some spots.
He is trying to make the moves as best he can with those 2 tires. I don't know if it's going to happen, but Ryan Dunkelberger is going to do it. He's on the inside right there trying to make some moves.
Man, Nick Silver has caught Mark Whitley. Can he pass him?
I told you Nick Silver is the one to watch out right now. Can he get him? 4 laps down. He's got fresh tires, I believe.
It's easy to catch him, but you got to be able to make the pass as well.
Absolutely. You know Mark's not going to let that happen.
The 54.
54 is in the wall. No caution just yet. I don't think it's going to come out. Still green. And there's the caution. If you are Mark Whitley, that is something you do not want to see right now because Nick Silver was catching him every single lap. What happened here? 54 gets loose. Who got into him there?
13 of Lamphere possibly tagged him.
Michael Lanphier, the 13. Let's go on board with Michael Lanphier and see how that unfolded. Here we are. Almost 3 wide going this turn.
Yeah, it looked like he just misjudged when he came back up. Oh, he got hit again. Oh, still all over the place.
Little bit of a racing incident there. Man, Nick Silver might have just got the best break that he could have had the whole race now.
Well, I've seen crazier, so I'm not going to give it to him yet. I've seen some crazy stuff. I mean, when they restart, this is going to be a green-white checkered. if a caution, we only get one green white checker. So if a caution comes out before Nick even gets a chance to pass him, congratulations to Mark Whitley.
Yeah, if he can hold him off, I mean that is a big testament. I don't know how it's going to unfold. I really don't. But you got Joseph Mealy down there, 27th grid, now looking 6th, and he's been strong. He's been in that top 10 for a while now. Joseph Mealy at 39. Ryan Pasoko, he's up there. Mitch Diamond and Brandon 6. 8, 9, and 10. Man, what are we going to see here? I am not sure. I don't know what to say. I have no idea.
I'm nervous. I'm nervous for these guys.
Yeah.
Because I know the possibility. I know that, they can, man, I mean, some of these guys have been on their tires for quite a while, and man, it can be over in the snap of a finger on a restart. Somebody spins their tires and boom, it's a wrap. But at the same time, they could be smooth sailing, and Nick Silver is able to pass Mark Whitley and take the win. So it could happen in so many different ways. It's just a matter of how nice do these guys want to play. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, it's going to be a shootout like we've been talking, and every time we think that we know how this race is going to unfold, that caution has came out, which changes things up. Mark Whitley, again, out front, trying to battle off the guys behind him. He's been getting good restarts, but I don't know if he has the tires for this one. I really don't. I really don't know.
It's going to be interesting because as well as Mark Whitley is on old tires, it would be very easy for him to spin his tires as well. But Nick does have fresher tires, but he could spin his tires as well. So the restart is going to be crucial. It is going to be everything. And I mean, the choose is going to be pretty easy, whether you go to the top or the bottom. I think between the first and second place, one goes to the top, one goes to the bottom. And then we kind of go from there. Now, do we have a situation like what happened with I can't remember the specific year, but Joey Logano and Carl Edwards. Carl Edwards goes for a move and at the bottom, and Joey Logano. Joey Logano goes for a move and Carl blocks him and turns him, and the car comes out before they even got to turn one, and race over. So it's that could happen as well. There's a whole bunch of scenarios that could happen. Nick Silver is just hoping that they stay green and he can make the pass. Mark Whitley is praying that they all big junk it on a restart and he grabs the win.
Yeah, and it could happen. It will be very interesting how Mark starts this restart with the old tires. We've got a lot of big names right behind him, like you were just saying, Brandon. This will be our green, white, checkered flag. What is going to happen here in Miami? There's been so much action and stuff going on before the race. Let's see how this unfolds as the pace car is off, and we are green flag underway. Mark Whitley out front.
All right, here we go. So far, so good. You're gonna do it. You gotta do it now. For anybody race. These guys are all over the place back here. Silver goes for the run.
One thing, Brandon, you didn't see Mark get that big jump because Nick Silver's right behind him, already trying to make that pass. Something we haven't seen all race.
Side by side, white flag out.
Final lap is in store.
And is he clear?
I think he's got it, Brandon.
He's clear.
Nick Silver with the lead in front of Mark Silver on the final lap.
Now can Ryan do anything? Ryan can throw it in. He could possibly take the one away from him. Oh,
Ryan's
no.
trying to get him now.
Oh, the 7 is loose. Come out the corner. Does the 88 get him?
Nick Silver is going to get the win.
Man,
here in
what
Miami.
What a wild race this was.
Ryan Dunkelberger and Mark Whitley now sits P3. That is your top 1, 2, and 3. Congratulations to Nick Silver. Unbelievable.
Man.
Couldn't predict this race tonight. You could not predict it if you tried 1,000 times. Unreal.
Unbelievable drive by these guys. Oh, okay. We're those cars. I guess either playing or wrecking in the background. Don't know what's going on with that. But so your finishers for the night. Nick Silver with the win. Ryan Dunkelberger is going to finish P2. Mark Whitley P3. Matt Fleming P4. Drew Jewett P5. Nick Lights P6. Joseph Milley P7. Ryan Pasoko P8. Brandon 6 falls all the way to P9. I'm not sure what happened with him. We thought he would have had a better run there. Brian Tagg P10. Mitch Diamond P11. Thomas Meeks P12. Devin Rhea P13. Jesse Erdman P14. Jeff Petro P15. Kenny Real P16. Matt Smith P17. Brandon Shelton, which was having a great race. Not sure what happened with him either. Finishes P18. EJ Marshall had troubles a lot of the time today. Finishes P19. Landry was part of that a couple cautions ago and finishes P20. Michael Lamphere P21. Joseph Larson, Feta Place, Wright, Oblinger, Purcell, Balance. I say Julio. Biddy, Williams, David, Phipps, Platt, Spurch. Unfortunately, they all finished multiple laps down. So we're going to see if we can get Nick Silver here. Silver, I have had to run all the way down here from the booth. I hope you're happy because that's a lot of steps I had to call down. But congratulations on your win, sir. Tell us how you got it done, man. That was a wild couple of last laps.
Well, for once, tire strategy fell my way. I was like, man, I know he's out of tires, and I was like, if we get a caution like at lap 110 or something like that, I'm gonna take tires. And I think it came out like 113, right around there.
Mm-hmm.
And I told the guys, I said, this is the wrong call, but I'm gonna pit because every time I make what I think is the right call, it never freaking works out. So, took the tires. I was totally content with finishing in the back if that's, what came of it. And, I think I would have got Whitley if it had stayed green. I was actually kind of bummed that the caution came out. But you know what? It worked out in the end, so doesn't really matter.
Quick, Nick, you saved your tires all night, and I think it paid off. Congratulations on your first win this season. Man, when you saw that caution come out, did you think you had it in the bag, or are you still trying to fight through? Because Mark's in front of you, he's a good driver. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, like I said, I was kind of bummed that it came out because it was going to be close, but I was pretty sure I was going to be able to get him if it had stayed green. And then, just the fact that we only have one green white checker, I've been burned before where, it'll go green and instantly another caution. So that's what I pretty much figured was going to happen, that he was going to get a good jump like he did, and we were going to have a wreck there on, with 2 to go, and that was going to be it. But, thankfully everybody kept it straight and allowed us to race it out.
Right on. Well, Nick, congratulations again. Your first win this season. Thank your sponsors real quick before you get out of here, and congratulations.
Everybody at Bowie Esports, of course. Wheels America for, making this great series a possibility. And you guys for putting on a good show and saying hi to mom and dad watching at home.
Fantastic. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being in the booth, and have a good night. Appreciate you.
You too.
Well, Brandon, who do we got in here next?
See if we can get Dunkelberger in here.
Get him in.
Ryan Dunkelberger is Brandon Booth and is Bowie and Emery in the booth. You got us.
I got here, you guys.
I'm sorry. I'm having issues over here. I can't talk tonight. Uh, congratulations on your P2. Man, did you have anything for Silver there at the very end? It looked like you might have been able to pass him if he had a good run.
I think I did. He got a good push on the start there, and once I kind of saw him get out in front off the 2, after we got the green, I kind of thought to myself, I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get back to him. I was telling him when we are coming out of 4, coming to the checkered, I was like, I had a run. I'm like, I would have had you into 1. But man, I gotta say that was the funnest race with Silver. Silver's a great guy, and I mean, I told him when that last caution came out, I'm like, whatever happens at the end of this race, like this is the best race I've ever had. So like, I appreciate him for racing me clean. He's a hell of a driver. Appreciate everybody in the front there racing pretty clean. That was pretty good.
Yeah, and congratulations on the P2 finish, Ryan. You guys put on a show tonight. Nick Silver was hard to beat. He had fresh tires, but you kept right there with him. Final, when that caution came out, what were you thinking in your head? Because I know you probably wanted to see it, maybe, but what are your thoughts?
I felt like I was much faster than Silver on a short run. I think I don't know. I think it was in the middle of stage 2. I could just chill and run fast times the first 15 laps, and he seemed to be a bit better after 15. So I really thought I had it there. I'm a little bit heartbroken to say the least. But I mean, I did everything I could. I don't know if we made the right call there at the end to get tires, but it ended up working out. I'm pretty sure Silver would say the same thing. We were definitely nervous about that one, but I think I could have gotten to him if we had another lap, but I definitely would never put a bumper to Silver. Silver's a great guy, so I would have had to race him clean for it. But to say the least, I think I did everything I could, and I wish to think I was faster at the end there, but it didn't play out.
Well, you got a P2 finish here in Miami. We're at Sonoma next week, and congratulations. Thank your sponsors real quick, and we will let you go.
Yeah, I just got to thank Steve Tucker and the Unis Group. I got to thank Bowie Esports for helping me. Silver and all the teammates, Bowie here, Six, Andrew, everybody, all the teammates. They're a big help and got me to where I'm at right now. So I got to thank them.
All right, Ryan, thank you. We will see you next week in Sonoma. Have fun.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
All right, Brandon, we're going to bring one more guy in here tonight, Mark Whitley, I believe, in the P3. Do we got Mark?
Hey, Mark is Bowie and Emery in the booth. You got us?
Gotcha.
Man, so close, so close. I think we kind of figured out that you kind of ran out of tires there at the end with all those cautions. Man, if those cautions don't come out, do you think you can hold off Silver?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be close. We still had one set in the pits, but I honestly thought it was too close to the end to pit because I figured there was almost 20 cars on the lead lap that we only ran like about 5 or 6 laps under green. So I figured there wasn't really that much, there were only 6 laps and I figured 20 cars. So I just stayed out. Plus, I mean, I wouldn't say taking it easy, but I wasn't running full bore and I ran a 10th faster than I did in qualifying. So I figured we'd be pretty good. And I'm not sure. I guess they just were to slice and dice through traffic better, and it was a risk for them taking tires. It paid off, and at the end there, it's just I made probably one mistake on the restart. We came off of 4. I kind of blocked the middle a little bit, and then I tried to swing back out wide. And as soon as I went up high to swing back low, is when he ducked. He dove it underneath me. So if I probably had a redo, I'd probably just stay kind of low and not try to swing out as wide and either force him to try to go outside or make him check up or something. But that's about the only thing I could think of. Once I got on the outside, it was pretty much over with. I mean, the fresher tires, even if it was only a couple laps, I couldn't really do anything. I tried my best to try to get back to the gas and get a run off the corner, but there's better tires and just got to run off the corner. And then I tried to do a little cross under on Ryan there, and just we didn't have the grip to do it, and about put it in the wall coming off 4, but we're able to keep it off of it and finish P3, which after the beginning of the race, feeling like I was just getting run over by certain drivers and just I felt like a pinball at times, and got lucky when got real loose off 4 earlier in the race and somehow managed to not go down pit road, not kill the wall, and not wreck. That was luck and all kinds of stuff. And
Yeah, we saw that. We were both like, our mouths would like drop, like, oh my god, he's gonna hit that wall.
yeah, there was, I mean, within a half second, I thought, A, I'm going down pit road, B, I'm going to hit the barrier, or C, I'm going to just careen into the wall. But some have just barely missed the barrels. You know, what led up to that is just more of a dumbass doing dumbass things, pushing people in the corner lap 20 of a race. But, you know, he's got one coming to him, so I'm sure he knows it. But, you know, for all in all, the race was pretty good, and I guess P3 isn't that bad for going back, and we felt like we were lined up at the back of the field 2 or 3 times during the race. So it's always good finish when you can rebound from that.
Yeah, and Mark, I just want to say you were up front the whole race. You fell back there on stage 2. I think it was a situation with the tires, and then you sit now in P3 at the end of the race. I know you wanted to get that finish and that win. We're at Sonoma next week, so good luck to you there. Real quick, thank your sponsors. Congratulations on that P3. I know you wanted that win, but thank your sponsors, and we'll let you have a good night, and we'll see you next week. Real quick.
Yep, big shout out Harpoon Design, Brantley. He does the best work on all of iRacing. He also is a great spotter during the races. So yeah, pulled double duty, be the painter and the spotter. So appreciate him. So check him out at harpoondesign.com. He's got a form you can fill out, and he'll get back to you real quick. He does awesome work. And you know, if you want to run something he's already made, just check him out on Trading Paint. He's got almost 2,000 different paint schemes on there. Got something for everybody. So check him out, and then Shop Angry Duck. They're your one-stop shop for all your custom racewear apparel. You know, hats, t-shirts, hoodies, anything you want custom made, they can make it for you. No order limits. So check them out. And then big shout out my other teammates, Driven Motorsports. John, he run the late model series with me here, but he was on the pit box helping me call strategy a little bit. So appreciate him being a spotter. Sobel, I know he couldn't be here tonight. He's I think he's neck deep in the new Harry Potter game, which I might try to sneak in a few minutes here before I go to bed myself. So just shout out to them. Appreciate them being good teammates, and you know, hopefully we'll come out strong and get a win in Sonoma. I know Sonoma is one of my favorite road courses, so we'll see what we can do.
All right, Mark. Well, thank you for being in the booth and having a word with us. It's always a pleasure to watch you race. Congratulations on that P3. You can't be mad about it. We will see you next week in Sonoma.
Oh, yeah, I'm happy I've actually got to finish this time.
That's right. That's right. We'll see you then. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Brandon, we talked to our top 3 drivers.
Yeah,
pretty wild end of the race and the whole race. Matter of fact, it's been pretty exciting and pretty big sight to see, man. It's just I can again, I'm lost for words, man.
I'm with you. I mean, from, you know, the cautions, the big wrecks, you know, from the almost, you know, cars almost hitting the choose cone car, to the choose car blowing up on pit road, you know, from the Mark Whitley, it basically was the Mark Whitley show until the very end there. When the cautions came out, and it pretty much unfortunately took the win away from him and gave it to Nick Silver. So, but again, I'm not taking anything away from Nick Silver either, because he stayed up front pretty much all day, and every time they got a long run, he was going to be the car to beat. So, you know, shout out to him for getting it done, for getting the win. And even, you know, for the, you know, some of the guys in the back, you know, they might not have had the best finish, but they surely put on a great show. So, you know, if you didn't have a good finish tonight, you know, don't hang your head low. You know, we got Sonoma coming up. We got lefts and rights next week, which is going to be absolutely exciting to see what these boys can do on the road course. I am really excited for that, especially listen to those cars upshift and downshift and all that type of stuff. So I'm excited. I can't wait for next week.
Yeah. Sonoma's going to be a big change of pace next week. But tonight, this Thursday, was great. Miami and Homestead did not disappoint. Flemdogs 200, Wheels America Cup Series. Thank you. For everyone that's been tuning in, everyone at home on the Wheels America Racing Network, We appreciate you like always. We appreciate all our sponsors, Harpoon Designs. Thank you. AJ, thank you. Steve, Brandon, thank you in the booth. It's been an amazing night here again on a Thursday. And we are going to sign off tonight. And we will see you next week, Thursday, in Sonoma. Goodbye.